Hello, welcome to Cineverm, where you will experience the best cinematic review and spoiler discussion.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 21 of Cineverm. My name is Anthony Renteria. With me, as always, is Chelsea.
But you can call me Che.
This week we watched Pet Sematary, the film based on a Stephen King story. This is our film review of Pet Sematary. If you've seen the movie, you can go over to our spoiler discussion to, learn more. We're just going to be kind of going over it briefly. As always, our reviews are 100% spoiler free, so you don't have to be worried about being spoiled.
Yeah.
I actually had someone ask me the other day that they haven't been wanting to listen to our reviews because they hadn't seen the movie. And then I was like, wait, why? And then he was like, well, don't you spoil stuff in reviews? And I was like,
No.
And he's like, oh, I didn't know that. And then I noticed, like, on Facebook, I recently put a little parentheses of no spoilers by the review, and people have been clicking on it more.
Wow.
And I was like, what? Is that the norm that people assume a review is gonna have spoilers?
Maybe because some people just combine both of them.
Yeah.
So it might be a thing.
Yeah, but if you don't know, now you know. I'll try to make it more obvious. All our reviews are spoiler free. Our spoiler discussions obviously have spoilers. But what did you think about this movie?
Oh gosh. Well, first of all, I want to ask you, is this the first scary movie we've ever done on Cineverm?
Us was supposedly a scary movie.
Oh, okay. Aside from Us.
We secretly did a Hereditary Cineverm, but that was way back in the day.
Did we post it?
No.
Okay.
I still have video of it though.
No, we're not gonna post it.
If we get to 1,000 iTunes reviews,
No, we're not gonna post
within
it.
3 days, I'll post
I
our
hate
Hereditary.
that review. I sound like a gweed on that review.
We still sound like weeds.
Oh.
That's why no one's leaving us reviews.
Oh, well.
But yeah, this is
Right
our
out-
first new horror film.
Yeah, okay. Well, right off the bat, the first thing that I really, really liked about this movie was how it was paced.
Oh,
Every time it changed to a different location or something, or even just a different scene of whatever, something actually happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of suspense full moments without any payoff, and this was like kind of like that rubber band effect that you were talking about now. Like, he pulled it, and it wasn't even like a slow pull. He pulled it really quick.
Yeah.
And then he let it go really quick, and I felt it. That's one part that I really liked. And another one is, at first, I didn't like the father character.
Yeah.
Or how the actor was playing him. But for some reason, it just worked at the end. Because you never really think about the stronger character, whether it be male or female, to go off and do something so crazy or so unexpected that not even the weak person would have done.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I really like that part of the story, and just the fact that at the end there's like a plot twist. For me, it felt like a plot twist because I wasn't expecting it, even though it told you leading up to it, you knew kind of what was not gonna happen.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. It was so weird.
Yeah, it's the what is the word? It's like it's set up as the inevitable ending.
Yes, and I love how they set it up so perfectly with every scene.
Yeah,
It just gets harder and harder for you to think of a positive way out.
So I would agree with most of what you're saying. Like the pacing was interesting.
Yes.
I read the first half of the book, so like the first half of the movie I was kind of comparing to the book. It was interesting watching the movie and seeing how equal it was to the book, but also how a lot of stuff changed. So just off the bat, the movie is way faster paced than the book because obviously like time constraints and stuff, but it was still, I think, a really good movie. Like, even though I had this preconceived notion of like, hopefully it goes for more of the book because the book feels way more introspective and like way more attuned to the father's story. And the movie actually kept that. Like, the father is still like one of the main characters.
Yeah.
And I really like that actor. I forgot his name. I think it's Jason Clarke or something. He was in First Man. But he's a really good actor. I think he did a good job. I wish they would have pushed his character a little more. Like, if he would have played the exact kind of character that I was imagining from the book, it would have been. And you see, like, little notes of it. Like, he's obviously a doctor, not religious, and that's such a big element in the book and the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool that they kept that element of, like, the whole film is about death. And it's a really cool theme that they tackle.
Honestly, if you like scary movies, I think you'll really like this movie. There weren't any cheesy, like, violent scenes. I don't know, just the violence, the scenes of just scare, and it always came to finality. He wasn't trying to, like, play with you, and it's like, oh, they're, like, what is one of the movies? Oh, well, basically, like, Her. It was like, oh, this family's gonna die. You know, it presents...
Hereditary.
No, Her.
Her?
The Peel movie?
That's Us.
Us. Like Us. And then... Fuck! Like, Us is like, oh, the whole family's gonna die, right? And then he wouldn't kill the family because he was trying to go against whatever rule he set in the beginning, like, this family's not gonna die. And then he's like, oh, they're gonna die. No, they're not. Oh, they're gonna die. They're not. But in this one, there's always a finality, which is my point.
Well, the filmmaker and the filmmakers involved, they do keep the suspense because they do either do what they're playing up to do in a moment of suspense, or something shocking happens. So it's either exactly what you think is going to happen, which is supposed to be horrifying, or something unexpected comes into it. Okay. It's never like someone walks in and it's like, hey, Judd, or hey, Dad, like, what you doing over here? You know, like, there's never any cut of suspense. Like, the rubber band is stretching, snapping, and then stretching again, snapping, stretching again, snapping.
Yes, which is the pacing.
Yeah. So it is paced pretty well for the horror scenes, I think. I thought it was still a little too quick. I would have really liked them to slow down in the beginning more.
No, I love how they would just went bam, 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 bam.
I liked how the middle stuff, like, they were slowly going into horror film vibes, right? And then I really would have liked the ending to slow down a bit too.
I like the way it was.
So you like the quick pacing?
Yeah.
It's horror like film. Your classic horror film, but it has a little bit more meat on the bones because the whole family element.
Oh, yes.
So that was cool that they kept that from the book.
Yeah.
And then direction-wise, there is some cool transitions that I noticed. There was some good lighting. I like how a lot of scenes they decided to keep dark. So that was cool. The music, it sounded really interesting, and there was a lot of noises and stuff, but I also didn't like it that much. I felt like they turned the music up way too much. Not volume-wise, but, like, it was like... Like, it was a little too hype for the movie. I would have liked the more unsettling, like...
They did have those moments.
They
right?
did? Yeah, but and then it would go to...
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, I just remember one part that I won't spoil, obviously, but...
Because this is not spoilers.
Yeah, but there was, like... It went from, like... And then it went to... Because there was, like, a lot of movement happening, so I get why they changed it, but it was too drastic to go from that to, like, disco horror.
Oh.
But... So the music, I don't know. I thought it was too much. The sound design was also a lot. Like, it was coming in and out. So, like, sometimes you didn't hear a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And then they decided to really turn up, like, a door creak. Like, it was a little too heightened. Where, I don't know. It's weird because there's, like, movies like A Quiet Place where it's really heightened. But I feel like throughout that whole movie, it is, like, you hear everything. Where this one, in normal, whatever, it's not. And then when it turns into scary stuff, everything is like, you know, cracking and stuff. Yeah. So I feel like it's...
I kind of like that, though.
You didn't?
Yeah, because when you're scared, you would feel like everything is so creepy, and it's loud, way louder than it should be. And it's all the wrong noises that are louder, like shuffling and.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was a little too much. I would have. I think this movie could have taken a little more restraint.
Well, what do you mean?
Like if they would have held back a little bit more, like sound design, score.
Okay.
You know, like instead of trying to make it so quickly paced, you know, took a little breather. But those are the kind of films I like, so I think it's just a personal thing. I think the general audience would love this film.
I'm a general audience member, and I love this film.
Yeah. I think we talked about it a good bit. Do you have any other things you would want to tell someone before going in? If you like Stephen King stories, then I feel like you would like the movie just if you know and like his style of plots and stuff.
Yeah.
It keeps the central plot intact, but there is enough differences that I think if you read the book, you would still get a pretty decent experience.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the book is still better than this movie, though. But considering, like, the Carrie movies, I thought all the Carrie movies were bad. I didn't like any of them. So far, I haven't seen the It movie. And I remember watching the It show when I was little, but so far, this is probably, like, one of the best Stephen King movies. And I haven't seen The Shining. Actually, this is probably only the third Stephen King movie I've seen, besides the 2 Carrie ones.
We should watch that.
What the fuck? Yeah. Oh, and Stand By Me. That one's really good. Never mind. That's hands down the best Stephen King movie so far. Oh, and The Green Mile. Shit, I'm forgetting. I keep forgetting that Stephen King doesn't only write horror. But, yeah,
but those other movies were good?
Oh, yeah. The Green Mile would make you cry like a baby.
Oh.
Everyone cries in that movie.
I need to watch it.
Yeah.
The Green Mile Challenge.
Green Mile.
Oh, Green Mile. Not The Green Mile.
It might be The Green Mile.
Oh, damn it.
Hit us up on the Cineverms.
Anyways.
So who would you recommend this film to so we can wrap this up and get to the spoils?
Alright, who would I recommend this movie to? Horror fans, Stephen King fans, like what you said.
If you like animals.
If you're a mom or a dad, you would really feel this movie. If you're, I don't know about the whole pet part, but if you are someone who feels like you can't let something go, this is a movie to fuck you up. That's it.
Oh, I would recommend it to basically the same people. If for parents, it might be a little too much. Like if you have a little baby or something.
No, watch it, parents. You need to watch this.
But the movie does play with that idea, like a parent trying to protect their family and stuff, and the destructiveness of grief and stuff like that. So it does play with those ideas well enough, and that's all thanks to Stephen King's book, to be honest.
It makes me think about what led him to write this story, because in the other movie, in The Shining, the book, the main guy was an alcoholic or something. Or he couldn't really cope with stuff. And then in his real personal life, he was an alcoholic at that moment. Like, he was just indulging in so much. And then maybe it wasn't such a strong... But it just made me think of, like, what if this man just went through a moment with his child and, like, his goldfish died? And then he came up with this whole story. Yeah. You know?
That's what it feels like. Like, they had a pet that died. And then it was like...
How do I tell my child that their pet just died? I don't want to lie to them. Because he doesn't seem like that type of guy who, like, butters things up for his kids. He's very straightforward. Yeah.
And then what if your kid is now not, traumatized, but is very shaken by the thought that our cat died, you're gonna die, I'm gonna die, like the weight of mortality. Yeah. And then you're like, fuck, what did I do? Yeah.
And kids are very, very emotional, and they don't know how to cope with things very well. Yeah. Just like how in other films you see like kids drawing and shit, and they draw some creepy ass stuff. Yeah. Like, oh my goodness, ¿qué hice? he just draws like dead goldfish in a bowl. Oh. Dun, dun. I want to move on to the spoilers.
All right. So what's your rating?
I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10? Whoa, you surprise me damn. 8 out of 10? What's your 8 out of 10?
8 out of 10?
Yeah. Great? Yeah. Whoa. Interesting. I think I would give this movie a 7 out of 10.
7?
maybe 6.5.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You like this movie way more than that. Yeah, you did.
I'll get into
you
spoilers.
did.
Not that much. It was a good movie. It's a 7. A good movie is a 7, so it's a 7.
I think it's an 8.
Really?
Yep.
All right. Well, if you decide to watch this movie this weekend, or this week, watch the movie and then head over to our spoilers. Where we will discuss it further, because we're having trouble discussing this movie for some reason without spoiling it.
Damn it.
Yeah. So find us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Leave us a review on iTunes. Email us at cineverm@yahoo.com.
Peace.
Have a great day.